Oh, it's Sausage Sandwich. Hello, Sandwich. Right, well, my entire audience is now here, so let's begin the news. Hello, I'm not expat. I'm Dan the Retro Man, coming at you live at 9:02 p.m. from Cambridge, England, the heart of the empire. Expat is away getting his corns removed, so I'm stepping in to help out and do his news beat for the arena. Tonight's top stories. The first story involves one of these. Our first story concerns the Nintendo Game & Watch. Came out a couple of months ago. You do see Bowser, that's correct. Basically, Nintendo's done another Nintendo. They've had a little sugar fit, and they've decided to start taking videos down. I first saw this reported on Reddit, and now it's actually been picked up by the mainstream media. And I'm just going to flick across to my screen now. 3, 2, 1. See how easy that was? So yeah, basically, anyone who's been doing a mod video describing how to take apart a Game & Watch and dump load more ROMs on it, they're having their videos pulled down by Nintendo, accusing them of copyright infringement, which is quite a dishonest way of doing it. So I've watched a couple of these videos. Yeah, I know. Did you see it running? It was like 1 frame a second. It was shocking. So yeah, they've got Doom running on it. They've got a bunch of other ROMs. They've got a bunch of Nintendo NES ROMs and other software running on it. And like Nintendo's gone, okay, you've got to pull these down. Copyright strike. Now that's disingenuous because the video I watched, certainly, it had nothing proprietary in it. It had no top secret code. It had no. It had a teardown of the internals, but that's something you can do. That's not private information. Also, you can go to the patent office and see exactly what's inside of one of these bad boys. Basically, it's pure bully tactics again. I mean, it is a Nintendo way. I mean, all this is simply. I mean, this isn't new. This isn't high tech. This isn't completely revolutionary. This is it's a single board computer. It's an ARM-based chip with a screen, a bit of memory on it, and a couple of emulators. Well, an emulator. And so the fact that Nintendo have been like, you've got to take this down, it's not really fair because it's not really infringing any copyrights. If they'd dumped the entire code and said, hey, this is what the emulator does, this is how the code runs, that would be an infringement of copyright. But sadly, it's just a case of get that down. We don't want other people copying you. Now, the problem with this is it's a fantastically hard modification to do. Not just anyone can do this. You couldn't just. It's not like the NES and SNES Mini, which is fantastically easy to hack. It's a case of putting in a USB cable, dumping the ROMs on it directly. Do not pass go. Simple as pie. This requires breaking it apart and soldering and jumping off pins off a chip. It's not a good idea. So don't do that. And to be honest, it's not worth the effort. I mean, it's all right. Of the 3 games on here, it's got Mario 1, Mario 2, and the original Juggle Game & Watch. I've spent more time playing Juggle than the other 2. It's all right. It's a novelty, but it's really not worth the effort of almost destroying it just to put Mario 3 on there or some more NES games, or certainly not the janky version of Doom they had running. It's a too nice machine. It's a nice little focus piece. Keep on your shelf. Don't play it. Awesome. All right. News beat number 2. Oh, hang on, I've got to flick over it. Ready? See that? Well, I went from one thing to the other thing in like that. Brilliant, isn't it? Second thing, Pokemon Snap has been given a release date. Whatever, who cares? One for the kiddies, isn't it? It's coming out on April 30th. A remake of the it's magic. A remake of the 1999 Nintendo 64 game. It's that, but in HD with more graphics. There's 25% more graphics on the Switch version. And what does it look like? Well, I don't know what it looks like. There's a video you can watch. You can watch their trailer, which is all right, April 30th pre-order. Why? There's a very sexy looking monster there. I'll be watching that after this. Enter the beautiful Lentil region. That looks great. I don't know really much about it, so I had a go and went back and played a bit of Pokemon earlier today. I don't care. Yeah, that they want too much money for it. I think it's like 50 quid, and like you're off your friggin' rocker. This is it's an entertaining. Well, let's see. What does it look like? What did it look like? So 3, 2, 1, boom! This is how good is this? This is the original. This is footage I captured this afternoon. This is Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64. This is the entire game. 50 quid. 50 quid. You're on a buggy, on some rails. You go around a bit. You take photos of Pikachu. And then when you get back to Professor Oak, he very harshly critiques your photography and sends you out to do better again. Good lord, $90. That's offensive. Yes, it simply isn't worth that, I'm afraid. And because it's Nintendo, it will never come down in price. So if you want it, you're bloody paying that for it. Wow, doesn't look like fun. That's a Snorlax there, and of course, because this is new, it will be all new crap Pokemans. Not the cool ones, not like this, where you get the real Pokemans. It's the new faff ones. Look, there's Meowth. So, Nintendo. You're all the lame Pokemons. The best Pokemans are in this one. Yeah, this is the entire game. It's quite a leisurely affair. You know, I get why it's vaguely popular. No challenge. There's no risk, no peril. I love a Snorlax. Don't we all? Don't we all? So yeah, so that'll be good. Come April 30th, perhaps you will be out there banging on the door of your local game emporium, clamoring for a copy of Pokemon Snaps on the Nintendo Switch. Which, you know, so why not? Why not? Alright. That's my second news story. This is going really quickly. This is brilliant. My third and final news story. Oh, actually, hang on a bit. Let's have a bit of interaction, a bit of banter. What would Expat ask? What Pokemans do you want to take a photo of? I want to take a photo of Machamp. What do you want to take a photo of? I'm gonna quick drink of tea. Look at that's me out there being attacked by some Pidgeys. And look, this is the end of the stage. That was it. That's the entire game. 50 quid. Blimey, O'Reilly. Alright. Good. In that case, I think I shall move on to my third and final and hopefully lengthier story. Because I'm romping through this. So, look at him judging my pictures. Doesn't like them at all. What a douche. So, here we are. Squirtle. Oh, yeah. Love a Squirtle. I love a Squirtle. That is a good one. That'll be on like the watery sections, won't it? Like the little like to float. Is that one of the new Pokemans? Typhlosion. Is it like a typhoon and an explosion all at once? That sounds immense. I'll be up for that. Alright. Well, that sounds great. What a great looking game this is going to be. Brilliant. And just a reminder, this is how it used to look, and that's it now. So, and there's not Professor Oak, and there's not Ash Ketchum. So yeah, brilliant. That'll be zany, won't it? That'll be wacky. All right, and for our third story of the day, more urgent, horrifying news. This actually is quite bad news. Well, it's possibly very bad news. It's Gen 2 Cyndaquil starter final evolution. Brilliant. That's the one you want. That's the ideal assortment of starters, finals, and evolutions. So that's ideal. What was I say? Oh yeah. So my final story tonight is a possibly bad news story. It concerns our dear friends over at EA, and here they are. OMG, they've only gone and bought. They've bought Codemasters. Now this is quite a big deal because Codemasters are pretty famous, pretty big developer. They are nearly as old as I am. They started off in 1986. But before we go back to that, why is this bad? This is bad because EA, Electronic Arts, have a really bad habit of killing game studios. They've got a really bad habit of buying them and killing them. Hey man, how you doing? And so the big issue here is that I mean, to date, some of the names that they've killed Westwood Studios. Westwood Studios made Command and Conquer and the Blade Runner point-and-click game. They've killed DreamWorks Interactive, who made the original Medal of Honor games, and a few other kiddie games. Pretty much. They killed Origin, who made Wing Commander. They killed Bullfrog, who made Theme Park, Theme Hospital, Dungeon Keeper. They've killed Maxis, who made the Sim games, or probably Sim games originally. They've killed Visceral, who made Dead Space. And they've killed Pandemic, who made Battlefront, Mercenaries, and something else. Destroy All Humans, which I love. And more, way more. Like they're the big ones, but there's like a dozen other little smaller studios that have been killed by EA. EA buys them. EA, what typically happens? This is what happened to Anthem. A smaller company we bought, a smaller company who had done, well, not small, because BioWare wasn't a small company, but BioWare made this game. They make a bunch of games, RPG style, and the publishers go, "Hey, we want you to make a live service shooter." And of course, they don't know how to do that, so they make it. It's crap. They get moaned at, and they, can that close to getting shot. Invariably, Codemasters will be asked to make something stupid. That's what EA does. They go, "Oh, brilliant!" So nowadays, Codemasters, they make mostly racing stuff. It's nearly all F1 and other racing stuff. It's predominantly a racing studio. That started back in the PlayStation 1 days. Back in 95, 96, they brought out Colin McRae and TOCA touring cars. And making racing games has been a staple pretty much since then. Prior to that, Codemasters made games on cassette. So I actually have one here. This is a cassette game. Actually, let's switch to the big camera. Look at this. 3, 2, 1, kaboom! Wow. See that? This is actually the last V8, which was made by Richard and David Darling, who went on to make Codemasters. They founded and created Codemasters. This game they made for Mastertronic, right before I left Mastertronic to find Codemasters. So back in 1986, these two brothers and their dad and their cousin opened up Codemasters and became a massive success. Famously, they made budget games, so that this was like £2.99 when most games cost 10, 20 or so quid. So they made really good games, sold them really cheaply, and they blew up. And these guys are the quintessential bedroom to billion story. So they literally started making games in their bedroom. They passed out games to their friends. They sold games through magazine ads. They got loads of money. Money started pouring in. They got involved with Mastertronic, who they owned 50% of Mastertronic, which then later sold to fund the opening of Codemasters. And Codemasters continued this, so they made a load of amazing games. They made games, so they had other people make games for them because they became a publisher. So not only did they make their own games as Codemasters, they also made other people's games. So famously, like people like the Oliver Twins, who made Dizzy and Super Robin Hood and BMX Simulator and Ski Simulator. They worked for Codemasters, and they all made these amazing and cheap games. And they sold by the bucketload and became this pretty massive company. Like don't get me wrong, like the 8-bit era was their heyday. They were massive on the 8-bit micros in the UK. So C64, Spectrum, Amstrad, all these had Codemasters games on it, and they continued on. So they went to 8-bit. They did do 8-bit. They became good on the NES. So they made micro machines for the NES, and they also made these. These are pass-through devices. This one you may have heard of. Actually, no, this one you haven't heard of. Wow, of course I'm doing flipped. This one you may have heard of. This one is a cheat device. So basically, you put your original NES cartridge in this side, and you stuff this in your NES. And this was a pass-through. So how these things work is obviously inside your NES cartridge there's a chip in there that's got the security on it. So your NES sends a message to this chip saying, "Hey, are you a real Nintendo cartridge?" And the cartridge goes, "Yep, yep, yep, sure are. Okay, I'll play you." But this one, it didn't need that. So it still went straight through to the NES, and the NES went, "Oh yeah, yeah, I'm legit," and straight back out again. So this one let you enter cheats. So so what you did, you entered a series of letters, and they affected what happened in certain memory states. So if you wanted, like, if you could find the code, in theory, you could give Mario infinite lives just by having a series of random letters that just jumbled up what was in certain memory states. Game Genie, very famous. Actually, Nintendo got taken to court in the States over this because they believed it was like a circumvention device, and it wasn't licensed by Nintendo. And of course, in the 80s, Nintendo had a massive hold on these sorts of things, and so they got really upset and said, "Hey, we're going to take you to court." They went to court and they went, "Well, we're not actually doing anything wrong. We're not actually using any of your proprietary code. This is all that's all super. There's no difference to a controller. We're not using any of your proprietary data or information." And they lost the case. And they made things like this. So this is a better example of what a password is. There you go. That's how it worked. This is actually 4 games. Super Sports Challenge, and these are beyond games that came out on like the Mega Drive, not Mega Drive, goddamn. They came out on the Amstrad or Commodore 64. They look like 8-bit micro games running on your NES. It's amazing. Baseball, pros, pro tennis, BMX sim, and soccer. All of them are trash except for BMX. And BMX Simulator actually was one of their biggest hits back in the day. They were pretty much renowned for it. Yeah, so that's not good. So they did that, and they went on to had very good success on the Mega Drive with the Micro Machines. Micro Machines also very, very clever. They made their own proprietary carts after they seen what EA did. EA went, "Hey Sega, we've cracked the Mega Drive. Let's make cartridges." And Sega goes, "Okay, we can't do anything." Codemasters follows suit, and that's where you get the cool things like you get the Micro Machines 2, which has the cartridge with extra controller input, so you can have 4-player from one cartridge. Amazing. What a day. What a life. So yeah, so that's bad. So I reckon, invariably, because EA owns the rights to, or they own the name of Need for Speed, I reckon almost certainly EA is going to say, "Hey Codemasters, make us a brand new Need for Speed game." And Codemasters will be like, "Okay, we'll try." I mean, we're mainly known for Formula One and kind of serious things. They do have some vehicular combat stuff, but mostly it's serious things like rally games and Formula One games. They're going to say, "Hey, make us a Need for Speed," and it's probably not going to be very good, and then I get shut. So I give them 2 years. So yeah, all right. Any question, kids? I think we're pretty much done here. That's the news. Yeah, awesome. So this has been the Arena News Beat. I am not expat still. I'm Dan the Retro Man, also known as Press Start to Game. Thanks for tuning in and joining me on this interstitial-free news beat. Yeah, so join Expat on Monday for what will probably be more news, but it's a different face really, and graphics and things. I have a green screen. I don't get it. Madden. Oh my god, can you imagine? I think I'd be really good at Madden. I think I've got that killer instinct that the pro players have. I don't know. Maybe that Metroid lamp's all right. I don't know where I got it. I think like a fan gave it to me or something. Weird. Anyway, if you have been affected by any of the items in today's news beat, please contact Samaritans or your local GP. In the meantime, I'm still not expat. I'm kind of like ready to go and play games now. I'm going to play some more Air Combat. It's brilliant. Bloody loving it. PlayStation. Oh yeah, and I mentioned I forgot one of my props. I got this prop as well when I was talking about the Darling Brothers. This is an outstanding documentary about the UK micro scene. Phenomenal. I've got them all now. I'm a big geek. Yeah. All right. That's it. How does he end it? Oh yeah, I'm doing the podcast tomorrow. So in the morning, I've got to record a podcast about stuff. I think we're talking about like pre-launch hype. Um, that will go on the news feeds at some point. I don't really follow it. We have a Patreon that I'm not involved with. I don't know what the Patreon is, but I'm sure it's great. Yeah, all right. So ain't it? Been going for 20 minutes. It's enough, isn't it? It's enough. Yeah. And unless there's any final remarks, I'm gonna log out and fire up the older, this one I've got. Older PlayStation Classic. Look at it. Classic Mini Classic. Look at it. Thing of beauty. Oh no, this way. There you go. Look at that. Cyberpunk Prolly. Oh yeah. Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah. Oh yeah. Be on Patreon. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I don't have any of these things. I don't know. I think like we're on Podbean. I don't know. But if you go to Podbean and then you type in the arena or Expat 2020 or something like that, that's how you can find the arena. And so that's it. That's all the big news. So a review. If you came in late, my first urgent and horrifying news topic was that these have been hacked. That's not news. They were hacked before they even came out. That's a true story. And Nintendo started taking down their videos. Why? The second urgent and horrifying news was that Pokemon Snap is going to happen on the Switch, and it comes out in April. It's a lot of money. So, you know what you can do. What can you do? Alright, in the meantime, Cyberpunk Prolly. Oh yeah, of course, that's what we talk about, Cyberpunk. Yeah, we do talk a lot about Cyberpunk. It's a shame. So yeah, alright. I have been Dan for Press Start to Game via a proxy of the arena.